Okay, are you ready for this? This is one of those things that I wish I had had access to when I started homeschooling, and I just know that especially for the beginners out there, this is going to be such a huge help. Guys, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are entering our 8th year of homeschooling for the 2024-2025 school year, and today I am going to come here and word vomit at you a ton, 60, I think it's 60 or almost 60 terms that you need to know, homeschool definitions for beginners. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Now, I know that I have absolutely forgotten some, but here is my list where I just seriously brain dumped every possible term that I could think of to be associated with homeschooling. And so I have done that. I've gone through the effort of defining them, and hopefully my intent is that I've made them in Canva. So my intent is that as I am saying these words, they will pop up across the bottom, really cool graphic style. If not, either way, I will have the entire list linked down below to link over to my website to have them all handed out there, okay? Yes, also a little congested, so buckle up for this. It's gonna be wild. Okay, so I have them broken down into 3 main topics. I've got homeschool, learning style, and curriculum are the 3 kind of top topics. So we're just gonna rapid fire, no particular order. And again, I know for sure that this is not the complete list because I know there's gotta be some that I have forgotten. There are also some of these words that have been hijacked, so they have multiple meanings. So please do not hesitate. Add to my list down in the comments or over on Instagram. Let us know because I know there's more. I know there is more, and there are other kind of definitions of these things. So please, please, please be sure to share. Do not hesitate. I'm not gonna feel bad, guys. I'm not pretending like this is everything. This is just what I could think of off the top of my head. So let's get going into this list. It's gonna be a minute. Again, it's gonna be probably pretty rapid fire, but that's okay. So here we go. Are you ready? Here come 59, 60 homeschool related words. Here we go. I'm going to start with the topic of homeschooling. So homeschool, a method of education where children are taught at home by their parents or tutors instead of attending a traditional public or private school. It allows for personalized learning tailored to the child's needs and pace. Virtual school, an online learning platform that provides courses and educational resources for students to complete their education remotely. It can be part of a homeschool program or an alternative to traditional schooling. Distance-based school, a type of education where students learn remotely through correspondence, online courses, or video conferencing, often with limited or no physical presence in a traditional classroom. Charter school, a publicly funded independent school established by a charter or contract. These schools have more flexibility in their operations and curricula compared to traditional public schools and can cater to homeschool students seeking specific programs. Public school, a school funded by the government, free for students to attend. Public schools follow state-mandated curricula and are available to all children within the district. Private school, a school funded by tuition payments and private sources rather than the government. Private schools have the freedom to create their own curricula and can offer specialized programs for homeschool students. Umbrella school, an institution that provides support, resources, and sometimes accreditation to homeschooling families. Umbrella schools help ensure compliance with state laws and offer record-keeping and reporting services. They also sometimes come with funding, which we're going to talk about in a minute. World school, an approach to education where learning is based on travel, cultural experiences, and global interactions. World schooling families use the world as their classroom, often combining travel with homeschooling. Accredited, a status granted to an educational institution or program that meets certain standards of quality and rigor set by an accrediting organization. Accredited programs ensure that the education provided is recognized and respected. This is often a topic of homeschool, accredited, unaccredited. Here in Texas, we don't need anything to be accredited. We make our own transcripts, so it's not really a concern here, but it can be in order to secure funding in some other states. Unaccredited, a status of an educational institution or program that has not been evaluated or does not meet the standards set by an accrediting organization. Unaccredited programs may not have the same recognition or transferability as accredited ones. Homeschool pod, a small group of families who join together to educate their children collectively. Homeschool pods can share resources, hire tutors, and provide social interaction among students. Hybrid model, an educational approach that combines traditional classroom experiences with remote or online learning. This model can be used by homeschoolers to supplement their at-home education with external classes. These things are really taking off in popularity. University model, a style of schooling where students attend classes part-time and complete assignments independently at home. This model mimics a college schedule and can be used in both private schools and homeschool setups. Association, an organization or group that provides support, resources, and advocacy for homeschooling families. Associations often offer networking opportunities, legislative updates, and homeschooling events. We have, here in Texas, we have several. And there's also HSLDA. I'm not entirely familiar, but they can also offer, through membership, advocacy and legal help if you need that, which sometimes you do. Co-op or cooperative, a group of homeschooling families who come together to share teaching responsibilities, resources, and expertise. Co-ops can offer classes, activities, and/or social opportunities for students. We are members of several co-ops, not for educational experiences, for field trips, social discounts on things. For example, later today, we are doing an iFly event, and we've gotten an amazing discount on that. They'll offer a physics lesson along with that, but for us co-ops, we tend to do for social and not necessarily to share an educational path with anyone else. It just is a really great way to get access to classes through the museum, discounts on tickets to shows, events, things, example for like iFly, fun field trips, and a way to just get out and kind of maintain that socialization in the homeschool community. So co-ops don't always have to be strictly getting together to learn. I have no interest in that style of co-op. We just want social. Dual enrollment, a program that allows high school students to enroll in college courses and earn credit simultaneously for both high school and college. Dual enrollment programs enable homeschool students to earn college credits while completing their high school education. Massive cost savings here in Texas. I think at least HCC, you can actually, they actually waive tuition for some students. So, or maybe it's most students. I'm not there yet, but we'll learn more as we get closer. Okay, so now I have moved on to learning styles, okay? Visual learner, a student who learns best through visual aids such as charts, diagrams, and videos. Visual learners benefit from seeing information presented in a graphical or spatial format. Auditory learner, a student who learns best through hearing and listening. Auditory learners prefer information presented through lectures, discussions, and spoken explanations. Kinesthetic learner, a student who learns best through hands-on experiences and physical activities. Kinesthetic learners benefit from actively manipulating objects or engaging in movement while learning. Now, I'm doing this because it's really important to understand and identify what your kid's learning style is, because if they're an auditory learner, and you've got them moving around a lot, or, which is often the case, your child's a kinesthetic learner, and you've got them sitting down talking to them. We want you to find success, we want your child to find success, and they're gonna find success if you tailor your educational model to their learning style. So that's why it's important to identify what that is. Play-based learning, an educational approach where children learn through play and exploration rather than formal instruction. Play-based learning emphasizes hands-on experiences and encourages creativity and problem-solving skills. Secular, which is what we identify as, education that is non-religious and does not include religious instruction or influence in its curriculum or activities. Now, the flip of this is non-secular, and a lot of people, I always got them wrong for the longest time. Non-secular, education that includes religious instruction or is influenced by religious beliefs and teachings, especially in the location where I am, that is most of it. Most educational homeschool opportunities are non-secular here. Worldview, a comprehensive framework of beliefs and values through which an individual or group interprets and interacts with the world. Worldview influences how educational content is selected and presented in homeschooling. So what you will frequently see is this is a science curriculum with a Christian worldview. So they're letting you know that they are in fact non-secular. Faith-based and educational approach that integrates religious beliefs and teachings into the curriculum and instructional methods. As you can tell, most of these are about faith and religion and homeschooling. Child-led learning, an educational approach where the child's interests, passions, and pace guide the learning process. Child-led learning allows for flexibility and tailoring of education to meet individual needs. Parent-led learning, an educational approach where parents take the primary role in planning, directing, and facilitating their child's education at home. Game school, an educational approach that uses games, gamification, and game-based learning principles to engage students in learning academic content and skills. Now, here's some of the ones that get a little convoluted out in the real world. Deschooling, a period of adjustment and transition for a child or family leaving traditional schooling to homeschool. Deschooling allows time to adapt to new routines, interests, and learning styles. Unschooling, an educational philosophy where children pursue learning based on their interests and curiosity rather than following a structured curriculum or formal lessons. Now, you will notice, like with unschooling and with child-led learning, there's a lot of overlap in these terms, but they're not exact. So it is important to know, or at least have some exposure to all of these terms, because you're going to hear them all. Waldorf, an educational philosophy that emphasizes holistic development, creativity, and hands-on learning experiences. Waldorf education often integrates art, movement, and practical activities into the curriculum. Guys, buckle up, we're only halfway done. Literature-based, an educational approach that uses literature and books as the primary medium for teaching and learning across various subjects and topics. Free school, an alternative school where students have significant autonomy in choosing what and how they learn. Free schools often prioritize democratic decision-making and self-directed learning. Eclectic, which is what we are. An educational approach that combines various methods, philosophies, and resources from different educational theories and practices to create a personalized learning experience. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. We piece it all together. Montessori, an educational approach developed by Maria Montessori that emphasizes independence, self-directed learning, and hands-on activities. Montessori education often uses specialized materials and environments to support learning. You will often see this in preschool, and it kind of phases out as kids get older, but it doesn't always have to. Nature school, an educational setting where learning primarily occurs outdoors in natural environments. Nature schools emphasize environmental education, hands-on exploration, and connection with the natural world. Wilderness school, an educational program that focuses on survival skills, outdoor adventures, and environmental stewardship. Wilderness schools often provide immersive experiences in remote natural settings. Charlotte Mason, an educational approach developed by Charlotte Mason that emphasizes living books, nature study, arts, and habit training to cultivate a well-rounded education. Classical, an educational approach based on the traditions of Western civilization's classical education. Classical education emphasizes the study of classical languages like Latin, literature, history, and rhetoric. School at home, an educational approach where parents replicate the structure and curriculum of traditional schools within the home environment. School at home often follows a structured schedule and uses textbooks and formal lessons. Okay, that was the end of learning styles. We've now moved into curriculum styles. Are you ready? Mastery, a curriculum approach where students master a topic or skill before moving on to the next level or concept. Mastery learning emphasizes depth of understanding and proficiency. For example, math you see is a mastery-based approach. And the inverse of that is spiral, a curriculum approach where topics and concepts are revisited at increasing levels of complexity over time. Spiral learning aims to reinforce and deepen understanding through repeated exposure. So they just go over it and 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 go over it every year. Outsource, a strategy where parents delegate certain subjects or lessons to external tutors, online courses, co-ops, or specialized programs outside the home environment. You can outsource for anything. Tutoring, math, dual credits and outsource, anything like that. Portfolio, a collection of a student's work and achievements compiled over time to demonstrate progress, skills, and learning outcomes. Portfolios are often used for assessment and evaluation in homeschooling. Some states require them as part of your compliance for your homeschool laws. Project-based, a curriculum approach where learning occurs through the completion of extended hands-on projects. Project-based learning encourages collaboration, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills, and will frequently involve more than one topic. So it will cover geography and language arts and math all in the completion of the project. Funding, financial resources allocated to support homeschooling expenses, such as curriculum materials, resources, classes, and activities. Funding sources may include personal budgets, state funds, scholarships, or educational grants. Here in Texas, we self-fund. We don't get any tax breaks. We get absolutely no financial benefit at all to homeschooling. And we still pay all of our regular taxes. So some states, especially through like umbrella schools and things like that, or charter schools, you can apply to get funding to cover your homeschool materials, and Texas is not one of them. Morning basket. A homeschooling practice where students gather in the morning to engage in group activities, discussions, read-alouds, and enrichment studies together as a family. Morning menu. Similar to the morning basket, this refers to a customizable selection of activities, readings, or subjects that students can choose from to start their day. Scope and sequence. Now this is the one, whenever I first started, I was like, based on context clues, I had a pretty good idea what it meant, but it was still one of those things where I was like, this is not a term, and I still like never use this term because it is so like not in my realm of brain. Like it is not, it probably is if you're like teaching or have some sort of educational background, which this is not me. Anyways, scope and sequence. An outline or plan that defines the content and skills to be covered in a curriculum over a specified period. Scope refers to the content, while sequence refers to the order in which it is taught. Essentially, if you need to know what the scope and sequence is for a curriculum, look at the table of contents. That is almost always like, it's what that means. It's the order and what they're covering. Table of contents. Open and go. Curriculum materials or resources that are ready to use without extensive preparation or planning by the parent or teacher. Open and go resources simplify the homeschooling process. We like it. We like it so much. Copy work. We don't do it. A practice where students copy passages or texts by hand to improve handwriting, grammar, punctuation, and language skills. Copy work can also reinforce spelling and literary appreciation. You will see this a lot. People will do this with Bible passages for their children. Sometimes poetry, but mostly Bible. Spine. In a curriculum terms, a spine refers to a central textbook or resource that provides a framework or core content for a subject. Other resources and activities are often aligned with the spine. You will see this with History Quest has a spine book, so like the main book, and then they will add on other resources. Frequently, you can get by with just the spine without doing any of the additional things. So, spine, like the book spine, that's what that comes from. Unit study. An interdisciplinary approach where multiple subjects are integrated around a central theme or topic. Unit studies provide a holistic view and encourage connections across different areas of learning. So again, it is like studying oceans, but it's going to incorporate your science and your math and your geography all into the study of like oceans. Lap booking, a hands-on learning approach where students create personalized, interactive mini books or portfolios to showcase their knowledge and understanding of a specific topic or unit of study, like a scrapbook. Notebooking, an educational technique where students compile notes, reflections, illustrations, and other learning artifacts into personalized notebooks or journals. These are very similar. Manipulatives. Physical objects and materials used in hands-on learning activities to help students understand abstract concepts through concrete experience. Manipulatives can also include blocks, counters, models, and other tools. For example, Math UC has their own specific like math manipulatives that go with their program. Core subject, the fundamental subjects considered essential for a well-rounded education, typically including mathematics, language arts, reading, writing, grammar, science, and social studies. And so like for us, those are the topics that Texas says we have to teach. So your cores are like your mains. Dictation, an exercise where students listen to a passage read aloud and then transcribe it accurately. Dictation helps improve spelling, grammar, punctuation, listening skills, and attention to detail. When we did spelling, you see they operated on a dictation model. Elective, a non-core subject or course chosen by the student based on personal interests, career goals, or academic enrichment. Electives allow for customization and exploration in the homeschool curriculum, and you will increase these as they get older. For example, if your kid wanted to be some sort of engineer, you might include some sort of circuitry or robotics or things like that in their high school years. Extracurricular activities and programs outside the core academic subjects that supplement and enrich the homeschooling experience, sports, arts, music, clubs, and community service. That was number 59, and guys, we made it through. Again, don't hesitate to tell me that my list has fallen short, that my definition was wrong, that there's more to add, that there's something I forgot, because even just in reading this, a term that was really popular a couple of years ago, not so much now, poetry tea time, where people memorize poetry, get together and present poetry, but they also have like a little tea service with it. It was like all the rage a hot minute ago. I hope that you found this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Please help me build this list because homeschool beginners, just like me with scope and sequence, There's things we don't know, and there's so much lingo out there, and the things that you don't know if you haven't heard of them or been exposed to them, which is why I come here and share, because you guys let me know all the things I do not know. So please, please, please help me expand my list. Let me know, what are your thoughts? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? What approach do you take? I would love to hear more about any of it. Guys, I think that's it. We made it through. Good job. Don't forget, I will have the full list linked down below, and hopefully I've put up those cards so that you can read them, because I know I tend to talk really fast, plus I'm congested and I stumbled on a bunch of words. So yeah, I think that's it. Bye guys.